last module, module 4 and semester 1. So let's start with the characteristics of managerial control, and let's understand how what are the things that one has to keep in mind. Okay. Students, the source for the same has been taken by me from Manan Prakashan. So just let's just begin. So as per George Terry, controlling is determining what is being accomplished, that is, evaluating the performance, and if necessary, applying corrective measures so that the performance takes place according to the plans. Okay, so what is the summary of this definition? That basically, if I have thought that I want to sell 2000 units, and I will take all possible measures just in case, if I'm able to achieve 4000, very good. Like, but in case I'm only able to sell 500 units, then what went wrong, or how can I keep the situations under control? All of this comes under uh, you know controlling. So let's understand this with either characteristics of managerial control or features of managerial control. So the first point I have is control involves measurement. So controlling involves monitoring actual performance and then comparing it with targets. For example, as I told you, my target was 2000, I achieved 4000, very good. So controlling involves measurement. Second one, control is a continuous process. Now see, I just checked this week that okay, now 4,000, 2,000, 4,000, but maybe again the sales can drop down also. So you have to decide a plan. Every 15 days, every 1 month, I will keep following up. So it is not a one-time activity, it is a continuous process. The third point I have is control influences employees. Now, what do I mean by control influences employees? So, for example, see, whenever a company has a good control system, the force, the employees tend to perform effectively and efficiently because they want to stand out. You know, the fourth point I have is control process is universal. Like every organization, small, big, irrespective of wherever you are, control plays a very essential role. That is why control is the entire process of control is universal. The fifth point I have is facilitates direction. So basically, control is a function of a management and it facilitates direction of action. Efforts are directed at purposeful activities and unwanted activities are avoided. So basically, it gives a person or a manager a direction that which activity rightly he will do, so that will result in some kind of fruitful efforts or fruitful results. So control facilitates direction. The sixth point I have is effective use of resources. So control helps us for effective use of resources. For example, all the wasteful expenditures it will reduce, wastage of materials it will reduce. So all of this comes under effective use of resources. The seventh point I have is helps managers to recognize change. So the managers are concentrating, on those products or market share which are not in their line of business. So sometimes they realize that in case when they have diversified, they have not done that well and their original products are doing very well. So this change of what they have done, they would probably focus on that and slowly and eventually discontinue those lines which was not their forte. The eighth point is goal oriented. So the entire control is goal oriented. Corrective measures are undertaken to achieve targets or goals. In other words, emphasis is placed on goals or results rather than mere activities. Now, along with this, I'm also doing is the steps of control. So let's go through it one by one. So, what are the steps of controlling? Let's understand this. And why is these steps required? So, managers control activities by monitoring the performance and checking it against planned targets. So therefore, just taking corrective measures if required. So let's understand what are the steps in the control process. The first one I have is setting targets. That means what? For example, I want 10,000 units till the end of 2020 December. So this is known as setting targets. Now, to achieve that 10,000 units by 2000 thing, what plans I will do or how I will implement that or execute that, that is known as implementation. That means I have to organize resources, I have to direct the subordinates, who is going to do, how is the team going to function. Everything comes under implementation. The third point I have is measurement of performance. That means what? Once, for example, I decided that I executed my plans, I did everything. So I have to do is that whether I was able to achieve 10,000 till, let's say, at least 6,000 till November and 8,000 till December. So I know that what I had thought, where, till what extent did I reach there. The fourth point I have is comparing performance with plans. So finally, what I do is I try to compare my performance with the plan. Okay, I had thought 10,000, I reached 8,000. Okay, that is good enough. But next month I have to have 11,000. Are you understanding? So that mindset helps a lot of managers to think about various permutation combinations of what can be done to improvise better. Fifth one is finding the causes of deviation. Now, for example, in my case only, instead of 10,000, I only achieved 6,000. Now, there could be lots of reasons. Either the quality of the product was low, or the dealer relationships, or my dealers are stocking the competitors' products, or my advertising is pathetic, or it is as good as nil. Are you understanding? So, what were the causes of deviation? Is what is finding the causes of deviation. That's the fifth point. Now, once I've written it down and I realize that, for example, it was like poor advertising campaign. Okay, that was the major cause. So what I will be doing is I will list out corrective measures. That means what? What I will do to improve now. Now I know what was my cause. So what will I do? The sixth point is listing out corrective measures. So first one is to increase advertising or to improve the quality of the product or whatever. Out of which, whatever one or two, depending upon the budget, I will start working out to correct those measures. The seventh point I have is selecting and implementing corrective measures. So the manager, he makes cost benefit analysis. He then selects the best feasible corrective steps. So all of that comes under selecting and implementing corrective measures. And the last point I have is review or follow up. So they are taken in a position to correct the organization deviations. If a necessary additional corrective measures may be taken or the targets may be set again. So all of this comes under review or follow up things. So with this, I finished the steps of a good control system. Thank you friends for listening.